Joining. So today I'm going to show you how you can create these birthday party invitations or party invitations that look like a backstage pass for a concert. This is what they look like printed out, and again, I did not go as far as to buy a card holder with lanyard. You could do that if you wanted. I simply used glue dots to glue the front and the back together, and I have a picture of the front, a picture of the back, and I simply put a hole punch and tied some string around it so it looks like a backstage pass. But again, if you wanted to, you absolutely could go online and purchase a 4x6, these are 4x6 badge holder with or without the lanyard. Okay, so I do have a YouTube channel which has lots of different videos, everything from candy bag toppers to bunting banners, but more importantly, I'm going to use a lot of different fonts today. And if you don't know how to download and install new fonts, please watch this video because again, I am using a lot of kind of unique fonts here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started because this is going to be a pretty long video. It's pretty detailed. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go to File, New, Blank Document, and then we want to go to Page Layout, Orientation, Landscape. Okay. Next thing we want to do is, since we can really only fit 2 on a page, we don't need to worry about the margins. So the next thing we want to do is go to Insert Shape, and we want to insert a rectangle. And let's just click anywhere here. And then what we want to do is we want to make this we want to make this 6 by 4. Again, 4x6, and that fits most of those card holders that I found online. All right, next thing we want to do is we want to do a shape fill of black, and we want to keep the shape outline of black. Okay. Next thing we want to do is insert shape, and we want to insert a rectangle. And what we actually want to do is we want to make this height. This is, I think, 0.82. So it's not that tall. We want to make this much slender, and we want to move this kind of all the way over. And we want to do a shape fill, and let's do more fill colors, and let's go ahead and do this pink right here. Okay, and we want to do the shape outline of that pink. Okay, so if you take a look here, we can see that this is actually slanted upwards. So what we want to do is we want to highlight this, ensure that format is selected. We want to go to Edit Shape, and we want to click on Edit Points. And basically we just want to move these points up, and we're done. And again, you can make the slant as much or as little as you want. Next thing we want to do is we want to insert a text box. And we want to draw the text box, and let's go ahead and do this right there. And we want to click on Format and do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline. And from here we can write All Access Pass. And we want to highlight this. We want to go to Home. We want to make this white. And the font I used is CF Revolution. Again, if you do not know how to download and install new fonts, please do that. Watch my video on how to do that. And we want to make this a 28-point font, and then we just want to spin this around so it fits in there. Okay. All right, now that we can actually move this up a bit so we have a little bit more real estate to work with. All right, next thing we want to do, and let's actually move this up a little bit more. I apologize about this. I realized that we actually have a lot of writing that we have to do on here, so we want to move all of these up a little bit. There we go. All right, next thing we want to do is we want to insert a text box, and we want to draw a text box. We can make it pretty big. And again, we want to go to Format and do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline. And we want to write Emily, and let's go back here and highlight this because we can't see it. and make that white. So Emily's 8th rock, and let's put this in quote, rock star birthday. Actually, I think this is all in caps. Emily's 8th rock star birthday. Okay, and we want to highlight this, and the font that I used for this is A.R. Bonnie, and the size of this is 28, and we want to center this. Okay, next thing we want to do is insert a symbol. Again, if you don't know how to insert the symbols or you're confused during this part, please watch that video on fonts. But what we want to do is we want to go to Insert, and we want to go all the way over to here, and we want to go to Symbols, and we want to type in more symbols. And the symbol is lightning, lightning bolt. Okay, again, this is just a font, and there's special symbols within the font, and that's all this is. And we want to go over here, and we want to insert this lightning bolt. Okay, and we want to go to here, and we want to go to home, and we want to make this 150. And actually what we want to do is we want to do Control C, and we want to insert a new text box. And the reason why we want to insert a new text box rather than drawing on the existing text box is because of the spacing. Let me highlight this, and let me go to Home. Let's go to Format, and let's do a Shape Fill of No Fill and Shape Outline of No Outline. Okay, so now we have this big lightning bolt. We can go home, and we can make that yellow. Okay, so again, I hope everybody caught what I did there. Let's make this 100. So this is just a font. This is a symbol. Okay, every font comes with unique symbols, and again, I explain this in detail in my video on installing and working and downloading new fonts. So this is just a font. It's a symbol. I made it 100, and I used lightning bolt. I entered that symbol, and all I had to do was change the font color to yellow to make that yellow. But that's basically how we got that lightning bolt. Okay. All right, now I want to go back to my original text box, and I want to go ahead and say drop off holes, house of rock. Okay, and for here I want to kind of move this lightning bolt here. So drop off holes, what I want to do is I want to change the line spacing, and I want to go to 0 point and single space. And again, all I had to do again was highlight this text and go up to here and then go to the line spacing. Okay, by default it will typically add in more line spacing than the single space, which will not give you as much real estate to work with, and also make the lines a lot more separated. So that's all I did there. So drop off the holes. This is actually Calibri light, and it is 20. House of Rock is C. It is CF Punk Forever. Again, that is just the font that I used. And we're going to go ahead and make this a 36-point font. Okay. Next thing we want to do is let's go ahead and actually start a new text box. But before we do that, we want to insert, and we want to insert a shape, and we want to insert a line. We got to hold down the Shift key and keep the Shift key held down while you draw the line across, and then we want to do a shape outline of white. And if you wanted to, you could make the shape outline a little bit more, but I like just that normal 1 point. All right, now let's go ahead and insert another text box, and let's go ahead and draw a text box. And let's go down here. And I apologize, I have a bit of a cold, so if you can hear that in my voice, that's why. All right, and then we want to go to Format, and we want to do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline. And then from here, we're going to highlight this. We're going to go to Home, and we're going to make the text white so we can read it. And we're going to say Saturday, Feb 11th, 6001 62nd Avenue Southeast, Bellevue, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. drop off. Welcome. Za and cake will be served. Okay, and then from here we want to go ahead and highlight all of this text. And again, we want to go to the line spacing options and ensure this is 0 and single spaced. We then want to go up here, and this is AR Bonnie. And this is a 20-point font. And this is centered. Okay? Now, the last piece we have to do to get this part done is do an insert and do a text box and do a draw text box. And we're going to go all the way over here. And we're going to type in RSVP. And we are going to highlight this. We're going to go to Format, do a shape fill of no fill, shape outline of no outline. We're going to go to Home, and we're going to make that font white so we can actually see it. And this font is called AR Destiny. So let's go ahead and right here, AR Destin is this font. And it is 20 to start, but we are actually going to be, let's move these actually in a little bit. We are actually going to be formatting this, and we want to click on text effects. So again, click on this text box, click on that format, and we want to click on text effects, and we want to click on transform. We want to go all the way down here for transform, and we want to do the fade up. Okay, from here we can kind of move this. You'll see this pink square. We want to move the pink square over just to change so you can read the RSVP just a little bit better. And that looks about great. That looks about perfect. Okay, and we can obviously move this up a little bit. And then finally, the very last piece we have is inserting this last text box to draw a text box for down here. And we want to, again, click on Format, Shape Fill, No Fill, Shape Outline, No Outline, go to Home, make this white, and this is Calibri 12, and we want to type in to, oopsies, no, there we go. We want to type in here, and we're going to write to email@gmail.com by Feb 11th. All right. Now, if you want to get rid of this link, you can simply right click over this and click on Remove Hyperlink. Once you do that, it's going to have that nice white font. And then from here, we're just going to want to go ahead and center that. All right, so this part of the invitation is done. Now we need to create the front part of the invitation, which is right here, that backstage pass, and that's actually going to be, we'll be able to do that pretty quickly. We could always just highlight this square, right click, do a copy, click out, and then do a paste. And then move this square over. So now you very easily have two on one page. First thing we want to go ahead and do is click on Insert Text Box, draw a text box, and then down here we want to type in we want to do a format, and we want to do a shape fill of that pink color, and we want to do a shape outline of black, and we want to type in VIP, And we obviously want to highlight this. Go to home. We want to center this. And this is just Arial black. And the font size is 72. Okay. Now we need to do this backstage pass. So the first thing we're going to want to go ahead and do is grab a picture of that guitar. So let's go ahead and type in, oops, I like to use Google, but if you like to use Bing or Yahoo, feel free. And let's go ahead and do Google, and let's type in guitar silhouette. And let's go ahead and click on images. And I think this is actually the image that I used. Now you do want the PNG, and I actually should have said guitar.png. What the PNG is do you see how you have this gray and white checkered background? That means that you are only going to get the guitar. So right here you have the white background. If you have the white background, when you bring it onto the image, it's going to bring that white background with it. Versus if you get this with the gray and white checkered background, all you're going to do is get the image itself, which is what we want. So that's why you want to look for this gray and white checkered background, or you want to do a search for guitar silhouette.png. I do have a video explaining this if that was a bit confusing, or you have any questions on that. So please watch my prior video on working with images in Microsoft Word if you have a question on that. All right, so this is for Rockstar. We're going to do this guitar silhouette 3. Let's go back here. And from here, we want to go ahead and insert picture, desktop video, and guitar silhouette 3. Okay, and the first thing we want to do is click on this image and say in front of text. We could also right click and we could do wrap text and we could say in front of text. Okay. Obviously this is black on black, which is not really going to work. So we want to click on format, we want to do picture effect, and we want to do glow, and we want to do more glow colors, and we want to click our glow color. Okay, but we want more than this glow color. So what we want to do is go down to glow, and we want to click on glow options. And from here, we can essentially just make this as glowy, if you will, as we want, and make this as transparent or as prominent as we want. Okay. All right, now from here, we want to move this, and then we obviously want to make this smaller. All right, there we go. Now the last thing we need to do is write in that backstage pass. So as you could imagine from here, we're just going to insert a text box, and we're going to draw a text box, and we're going to go ahead. And what we want to do is we want to click on format, and we want to make this a width of 4. Okay. And what we want to do here is type in back, oops, there we go, backstage pass. And then from here we can go ahead and highlight here. And we want to go to home, and we want to center this. We also want to click on format and do a shape fill, obviously of no fill, and a shape outline, obviously of no outline. Let's make this white just so we can see it for now. We're obviously going to be changing that. And the font that I used for this is called The Dark. And I want to say the font size is 72. And then from here, we can very easily just rotate this sideways. And then let's move this down. Okay, and then from here, and actually I think this is a little big for 72. Let's go ahead and go home and let's make this a 70. I didn't mark what size font I made this. Okay, so from here, now we want to make, obviously, this fading from the yellow down to the pink. So from here, we want to highlight this, and we want to go to Format, and we want to go to Text Fill, and we want to go to Gradients. Then from here we want to go to Variations from up to down, and then we want to do more fill colors. And obviously we want to pick our fill color. Oh, I apologize about that. And then we want to go to here, and we want to go to Gradient, and then we want to go ahead and click on our up to down. Top right corner, top left corner. There we go. All right, so now from here, what we want to go is Text Fill, and then we want to go to More Gradients because we want to add the yellow. So from here, we just want to click, instead of this being pink or white, we want to click on that being yellow. From here, we can actually click on this middle one because we don't need that, and it's going to go from yellow to pink. If we wanted to add a third color in there, we could do that as well. Okay. And that's basically how you can create these really cute sort of backstage passes for any concert type birthday party or themed birthday party. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and like any and all of my videos. I'd be so appreciative. Thanks so much and have a great day.